Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Reezonoticz back once again, and I'm making a video this time just to have a little discussion on something I've been seeing as of late, and I'm sure a lot of gamers, if you go on internet websites, gaming internet websites such as IGN.com and GamePro.com and OneUp and GameSpot and all those, if you've been going on these sites, I'm sure you've seen this in the last week or so, especially if you've been going on IGN. Now, I'm gonna say this right off the bat. This isn't a hate video. This isn't a slam video, but this is just being real. IGN has lost all my respect as far as being the site that I used to trust the most and relate to the most and agree with the most. I've seen IGN in the last week and a half to 2 weeks go from a respectable site that very unbiasedly presented the facts, showed you games and reviews and whatnot, and talked about the three different consoles and left it at that. Going from there to what they are now, which is completely anti-Nintendo, and it's just amazing because if Nintendo would have done something in the last week or so to merit this onslaught, then I wouldn't be, surprised. But Nintendo hasn't done anything but done what it's been doing for the last 3 years. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just, flip on Nintendo, which is just crazy. And it makes me think that this is just like a publicity, excuse me, a publicity type stunt, where they got nothing to report. Nothing's really coming out on Nintendo right now. Nothing's really coming out across the other three systems. So they got nothing to do. So instead of making it look like their site's not being updated, they're gonna start hating on Nintendo. It's ridiculous. I mean, the first evidence was an article entitled "Nintendo is lazy and you don't care," and it talked about how Nintendo's being lazy and playing it safe with New Super Mario Brothers Wii being the biggest game of the year for them, basically, or the biggest game of the holidays for sure. And that's just one of the main focal points of the article. I can't remember the rest because I read this about a week ago. But the article, from what I remember, I read through the entire thing and sat there like, wow, this is complete and total garbage. First of all, Nintendo is not playing it safe or being lazy by releasing New Super Mario Brothers Wii and making that the biggest game of their holiday season. Okay, because how is it playing it safe and how is it being lazy to release a 2D side scroller with a four player multiplayer mode as the biggest game in your lineup in a world and in a time that is dominated by 3D games with HD graphics? How is that playing it safe? How is that being lazy? That's going outside the box. That's Nintendo being who they've always been and being different. So that argument has no weight. It has no merit. So that was the first article. So I read that article and I was like, wow, this is complete garbage. Moved on and didn't care. And the very next night, I see another article on IGN.com called the Wii, We Need Achievements. Talking about how the Nintendo innovated with motion controls this generation, yet they left out the second biggest innovation of this gaming generation, IGN's words, which is an achievement system. Excuse me for being a little blunt, but how in the hell is an achievement system or achievements in general an innovation? We've had achievements in games since, to some form or another, since the Genesis and Super Nintendo days, where you unlocked secret characters or you unlocked secret bonuses because of a high score or because of exploring a part of a level that you normally wouldn't have. That's nothing new. That's not an innovation, number one. Number two, the Nintendo Wii doesn't need that. I would like it. I think it'd be a nice little bonus. I own a PS3, but I do not play a PS. I mean, this article made it seem like the people who own PS3s and Xboxes love playing their Xbox and PS3s just to hear that little ding and a trophy awarded or achievement unlocked. That's a load of crap. I have a PS3 and I own some very good games for it, and they all have trophy support and they have an achievements system on there, and I do not play the games to hear a little bing trophy unlocked. When that happens, I barely even pay attention to it. I don't care. I don't play a game for achievements. I play a game to enjoy it and to have fun with it. And then if I want to go for broke and go for all the high scores and everything, then I do that. And I don't need a little bing as a motivation to keep doing that. If the game is good, the game is good, and I'm going to play the hell out of it. If the game is decent but not that great, then I'm going to play through it once or twice and then put it away. That's gaming. If the game is horrible, I'll probably rent it, see that it's horrible, and not care about it anymore. They were saying that, oh, with an achievement system, even the worst games will get played more. Who cares? So I see this article about Nintendo's lazy and you don't care. Then I see this article about we need achievements, which is complete garbage. First of all, to call achievements the biggest innovation next to motion controls of this generation is just garbage. It's not an innovation at all. It's a slap on. It's a okay, let's just add this to our games so that people have a little bit more incentive to play. That's not an innovation. So that's another thing. And what was the third thing? Oh, and the third thing is I just saw the video review the other day for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: The Crystal Bearers, which is a big title for the Wii that has been talked about since before the launch of the Wii. It finally came out, or it's coming out in the next couple of days, and it got reviewed. And I watched the video review. And after watching the video review, I still was like, okay, I just watched this entire video review. I read most of the written review. I still don't understand why they gave it the low score of a 6.2 and why that game didn't get at least an 8.0. After watching the video review and reading it, I still don't understand why it didn't get a good review. Because graphically, it is. They said in the video review they're like, "Oh, the polish just isn't there," and they're saying that while showing you a shot of the character, one of the main characters' faces that looks crystal clear. So what do you mean the polish isn't there? The graphics were beautiful. They made the worlds in Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess look like garbage. The graphics, the environments looked like Monster Hunter graphics, if you know about that game. Okay? The worlds were expansive and huge. The animation was fluid. You know what it is to me? To me, it's that this isn't the same Final Fantasy game that's been rehashed for the last 4 or 5 years or more on the other consoles. So because it's not that, they're not going to give it the props it deserves. Because the game looks amazing. It looks fun. I don't even like Final Fantasy. I never have. And this game, I'm actually going to give it a try because it may be the series or the game that brings me into Final Fantasy. The game looks beautiful, especially for the Wii. The graphics are beautiful. The characters, the animations are smooth and fluid. The worlds are expansive and big. What more do you want? They even said that the game has a bunch of different side quests and that it's a nice long gameplay experience. So why does the game get a 6.2? Because they're on their anti-Nintendo tear right now. And nothing that Nintendo does is going to be right in their eyes. But what's funny to me is that this is IGN. How long has IGN been around? I don't really know. But I'm going to say IGN, I'm going to guess that IGN has not been around more than 15 years. More than 20. I'll give them 20. I don't even know, but let's just say IGN is sitting there criticizing Nintendo left and right and trying to tear them down, then turning around and making articles like, "Oh, what we want in Super Mario Galaxy 2." Like if a little website that's been around for, let's say, 20 years, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, is good enough to give advice to a video game giant that's been around for 120 years. Because this year was Nintendo's 120th birthday. It's just it's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. So I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to rant about that a little bit. I mean, IGN has just lost all credibility with me, man. They just for no apparent reason have gone on an anti-Nintendo tear. And it's not because the Wii is my system of choices. Like I said, I have a PS3. That's not why I'm so. I'm not angry, you know. It's just no skin off my teeth. I still enjoy the Wii. But the reason it bothers me is because it could be any console. It could be even the PS3 or the Xbox, which I think is garbage. But they have never, in the history that I've been going to IGN, they have never attacked another system so hard and so fast as they have in the last week and a half. Just completely turned on Nintendo. I don't know why. But the funny part is that that's not going to stop the Nintendo Wii from dominating, because this is the third Christmas that it's been around and it's still in high demand and it's still dominating. It just sold, I think, 450. No, man, I don't remember. I know it sold 450 plus copies, 450,000 plus copies of New Super Mario Bros. Wii in the second week that it's been released, and the console itself is flying off the shelves in Japan. So, I mean, it's dominating. That's the IGN's little ranting and hating is not gonna stop that. But it's just funny to me how they could just turn around on a dime and just start slamming the console out of nowhere when the console isn't doing anything but what it has been doing since it launched. Nintendo hasn't been, they don't release 7 or 8 big giant blockbuster critically acclaimed games every year. They launch 2 or 3. And they did that this year, man. They launched Mad World. They launched The Conduit. They launched now this one, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. They launched New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I mean, they've launched the Metroid Prime trilogy. What more do you want? So it's just funny to me, man. I hope y'all peep the video. Leave comments if you disagree. Leave me comments. We can get into a discussion. God bless y'all. Peace. Stay gaming.